This is Matt from the Comic Hall and Roundtable Discussion. These are undervalued books you should be looking for in long boxes right now.
First on the list is Micronauts number 8. This is the first appearance of Captain Universe. This book can be had for about around 15, maybe 20 bucks. But if you want to get the real one, get the newsstand edition, which is on eBay. It's sold for about $375. So if you find that, make sure you snag that. Next up on the list, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 172, first appearance of Rocket Racer. This book kind of has a tendency to go all over the place, but if you look good enough, you can find a copy for about $4 or $5. On the high end, expect to spend right about $75 to $80 for this book, but this is one that is starting to kind of gain a little bit of traction in the comic book community, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. Next up on the list is Owlboy number 5. Now this is an obscure book, but if you see the cover, it really pretty much speaks for itself, so make sure if you see this in the buck bin, which you probably can, you probably find this in the buck bin, it'll net you about $1, $2, $3. But if you see a 9.8 slab, it's going to net you about $150 in your wallet. So if you get a nice copy of this, then make sure you pick it up and try to get the slab, because apparently it sells pretty well. Alright, next up is Infinity Inc. number 14. This is the first Todd McFarlane cover. This can be found at dollar bins all over the place. A lot of people have, if you see the cover, most people kind of thrown off by the cover. But it is Todd McFarlane, so if you see that, I know I bought my copy about 2 years ago, actually from my local comic book store. I think I paid maybe $3 for it. So this is one that you can find that may gain a little traction, may heat up, but it's definitely an undervalued book. All right. And next up is Captain America Annual 421. All right, this is the infamous Wolverine striking the shield. This book has a tendency to be expensive at Comic Cons. I know I've seen it. I've seen it $45, $50, $75. But this is a book that if you go to your local pawn shop, I guarantee you it's probably sitting in there. I've seen this at plenty of flea markets for like $5, $3, even $1. But it's a book that is very important. The cover in itself is one of those iconic covers that people tend to gravitate towards. So make sure you pick that one up. If you see it I'd say if I was buying it, I'd say if I see it under 20 bucks, it's definitely a pickup. So make sure you check that one out as well. All right. Next up is a book that I recently picked up, and it's a little expensive, but it's not too expensive. It's actually on a downslope. But I can guarantee you, if you don't get this book within the next 6 to 8 months, you're gonna pay the price. And that is Marvel Spotlight number 5, the first appearance of Ghost Rider. We know that Ghost Rider will be getting his own show soon, but a lot of people are running out and grabbing the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. A lot of people forgetting about Ghost Rider's first appearance. But when people realize that Ghost Rider's first appearance is in Marvel Spotlight number 5, which most comic book fans already know, who actually follow Ghost Rider know that. But when people start realizing it, and the people that want to get the books, this book is going to start rising up. So I've just recently saw it at the Atlanta Comic Con. I saw that book going for about $175. So I mean, that was pretty low for I think at that time, I think it was, the grade was maybe if I had to grade it, I'd say probably about a 6.5, 7.5. So really good grade. So if you see that book, make sure you pick it up. Otherwise, if you wait long on this one, this may be one that might get away from you. All right. Next up, Invaders Annual number 1. Now, if you see this is actually artwork done by the legendary artist Alex Schomburg, and this is his first work since the original Invaders, and we all know we can't afford that, so unless we take out a hefty loan. So if you see this book, this is one that has a little bit of a nostalgia to it, because it's, once again, it's the modern work from Alex Schomburg. So if you see that, pick it up. You can find this in buck bins. I've seen it as high as 20, and I've seen it as low as in the 50-cent bin. So if you see this book, make sure you pick it up. This is one that you can easily find if you look hard enough and be patient. This is one that most people really don't know about. Next up, X-Men Volume 2, number 205, the first appearance of Hope Summers. Now, we all saw this book take a huge spike during the Deadpool craze a couple of years ago, but this book is settled in price, and with Marvel tapping into the X-Men universe and buying those rights, you already know at some point, whether it's on a TV show, whether it's in a movie, whether it's in a cartoon, some way or another, we're going to hear something about Hope Summers at some point. This book, I've seen it at $2. I've seen it at $5. I've seen it at $7. I've seen it at $10. And in some cases, I've seen it as high as $50. So it's a little bit all over the place. So if you see this book at a really good price, make sure you add that one to your collection. Next on the list is number 2, Amazing Spider-Man 258. Now, we all know everybody wants to go grab Amazing Spider-Man, the first appearance of Venom. We want to go grab Web of Spider-Man number 1. We want to go grab just anything that has to do with symbiote. But you rarely see people grab Amazing Spider-Man 258. Now, what's so significant about that? It's where Peter Parker throws away the symbiote uniform, and it's actually on the cover. So if you see this, make sure you pick this up. I've seen this book as low as $5. Low as $5 for such a significant event. So this is one that you want to have put in your collection. You just never know. People are reaching for anything. When you see Amazing Spider-Man Adventures 8 and 9 going for silly money, I can guarantee you people will start looking for 258 when they realize what's going on there. So make sure you pick that one up. Last but not least, definitely a book that I've been saying for years that is very, very undervalued. This is a book that has eluded a lot of folks because it's hard to find in good condition, but it's also a book that you should be having in your collection. For those people who can't afford Submariner number 1, this is actually the next best thing. This is Iron Man and Submariner number 1. This predates Iron Man number 1 Silver Age and also predates Submariner number 1. I got this book slabbed. I got this book at I think a 7.5 slabbed, and I think I paid maybe $75 for it. And a lot of people just sleeping on this book. This is a book that you need to grab if you want to try to get your hands on some Silver Age Submariner. And this is going to wrap it up for this list of undervalued books that you should have in your collection. So make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And make sure that you stay tuned and locked in here on the Comic Hall and Roundtable Discussion channel. My name is Matt Odom, and we'll see you next time.